Welcome to the Hustle Report by Profit Duel, the podcast that delves into the side hustles that could make you money. Today we're doing a deep dive into something, well, a little unconventional. We're talking about turning trash into treasure.
Exactly.
It's this idea of strategically picking up what other people throw away and, finding the real value in it. If you're looking for a side gig with basically zero startup costs, this might be the one.
Yeah, and it sounds simple, right? Just scavenging. But it's actually become a lot more sophisticated. Our goal today is to really give you the playbook for this.
Okay.
We want to cover the surprising things that make money, the logistics, the legal stuff you have to watch out for, and what you can realistically earn.
All right, let's unpack that. When we say trash picking as a side hustle, we're not just talking about aimlessly digging through bins, are we? It's more like targeted salvage.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's arbitrage.
Yeah.
You're finding value where everyone else has decided there's none. We're not looking for just, random junk. You're hunting for specific things. Maybe it's scrap metal, maybe it's old electronics you can use for parts, or even vintage collectibles people just don't recognize.
Okay, so give me an example of that. What's something that would, completely surprise people?
I think the biggest surprise we've seen in the data isn't a TV or a piece of furniture. It's actually specific vintage advertising signs from the mid-century.
No way!
Yeah, we saw this documented case of a curbside, find an old gas station sign, someone picked it up, got it authenticated, and it sold at auction for $9,000.
9,000 from the curb.
From the curb. Now, that's an outlier, of course, but it shows you the kind of potential that's just sitting out there.
Wow. Okay, so finding a treasure like that is the dream. But for someone doing this consistently, how do they structure it? Where are the best places to even look?
You have to be strategic. You're looking for areas with high turnover. Think about college campuses at the end of the spring semester. Students will throw out perfectly good furniture, mini fridges, high-end electronics, just because it's easier than moving it.
That makes so much sense.
Apartment complexes are another gold mine, especially around the first of the month when people are moving out in a hurry.
Okay, so we have a strategy. But let's get into the gritty reality of it. Safety, obviously, is a huge deal. But what are the other practical things that separate a pro from just a casual scavenger?
Safety is the absolute baseline. I mean, sturdy shoes, heavy gloves, that's non-negotiable. You don't want to mess with sharp objects or things you can't identify.
Right.
But the real challenge, the thing that trips people up, is legal and logistical.
Okay, lay out the legal side for us. What do people need to know?
You absolutely have to know your local rules. In a lot of places, once something is on the public curb, it's considered abandoned property,
Right.
but not everywhere. And more importantly, if you start collecting a lot of stuff, for resale, your garage starts to fill up. You have to check your local zoning laws about running a business from your home. That can get you into trouble fast if you're not careful.
And what about actually selling this stuff? We all know about eBay or Craigslist, but are there smarter ways to move the inventory?
Yes. This is where you get systematic. You need to be on platforms like FreeCycle.
FreeCycle.
Yeah, it's basically a community board where people post things they want to get rid of for free.
Yeah.
It lets you grab high-quality items before they even hit the curb. You're intercepting the good stuff.
That's clever. Now let's talk about the number that I know everyone's waiting for, the money. Our data shows this can be surprisingly profitable.
It's a huge incentive. The numbers do fluctuate, of course, but the average hourly rate for someone doing this in a targeted way is between $15 and $30 an hour.
$15 to $30. And that's because your acquisition cost is zero.
Essentially, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's your time versus the final sale price.
Okay, but hold on. That $15 to $30 figure has to depend on you finding good stuff. What about the nights you go out and find nothing? How do you deal with that?
That's the operational challenge. You can't just rely on luck. The top earners have a system. For example, with scrap metal, you don't just grab any old piece of steel.
Right.
You need to know the difference between that and more valuable non-ferrous metals like copper or aluminum.
Yep.
The real pros will find a broken washing machine and take it apart just for the copper wiring inside, because that pays out way more than the steel shell.
So it's about seeing the value inside the item, not just the item itself. You're treating it like a supply chain.
Exactly. And honestly, beyond the money, there are these other benefits that really get people hooked. The flexibility is amazing. You just go out whenever you want.
And you're learning things.
All the time.
Yeah.
You'll find something that's a little broken, you learn some basic carpentry to fix a chair, or maybe some simple electronics repair to get a lamp working. You're building real skills.
Plus, there's that feeling of knowing you saved something from a landfill. That's a powerful motivator.
It really is. That environmental aspect, that sense of, giving something a second life, it makes the hard work feel genuinely worthwhile.
Okay, so we've seen the upside, but we have to do a reality check here. Before you run out the door tonight, we need to talk about the downsides. What about the physical side of it?
Yeah, we have to be honest about that. This could be hard physical labor. If you're picking up furniture or old appliances, that's heavy. It requires a certain level of fitness, and sometimes you really need a partner to help you.
And the income is volatile?
Absolutely. It's unpredictable. The people who make consistent money don't rely on luck. They rely on data and patterns.
What do you mean?
Well, one veteran picker we talked to, he said he only hits the high-end retirement communities on the first Tuesday of the month. He knows that's their scheduled day for large item disposal. It's that kind of data-driven approach that creates consistency.
Let's circle back to the logistics, because that seems like a huge hurdle. Storage. You need a place to put all this stuff.
It's often the biggest bottleneck. You need a garage or a shed or maybe even a small storage unit. A dedicated space to clean, repair, and photograph everything.
And you can't just do this with a Honda Civic, can you?
Not if you want to scale up, no. If you're serious about furniture or appliances, you're going to need a truck or at least a utility trailer. That's a key piece of the puzzle.
All right, let's give everyone an actionable checklist. Someone is listening right now, they're intrigued. What are the first 4 strategic steps they should take tonight?
Okay, let's break it down into 4 phases.
Phase 1, research.
Before you do anything, you need to know the rules of the game in your area. Go online, look up your town's municipal code on curbside pickup, understand the zoning laws for storing items for resale. Get that legal groundwork done first.
Makes sense. Phase 2, strategic targeting.
This is all about data and timing. Figure out the best areas. Are they affluent neighborhoods, college campuses? Then find out when their bulk trash days are. You want to time your runs for the night before the trucks arrive.
Be there first. Okay, phase 3, professionalize.
Right. Go beyond just gloves. Invest in a good dolly or a hand truck for heavy items. Get a powerful headlamp so you can actually see what you're looking at. And have a system for sorting things right there in the field. The faster you can categorize, the more efficient you'll be.
And finally, phase 4, your sales channels.
Yeah, don't just throw everything on Craigslist. Diversify. Build relationships with local thrift stores. Some will buy items from you. Find specialty repair shops that might pay for specific parts. Having multiple ways to sell creates a much more stable cash flow. In the end, it's a really rewarding hustle. It's profitable, it's good for the planet. But success really comes down to doing your homework, being safe, and treating it like a real business. If you do that, that $15 to $30 an hour rate, that can be your floor, not your ceiling.
That is the key takeaway. Treat it like a business. And here's a final thought for you to ponder. Think about those skills you're learning, the carpentry, the electronics repair. Could that evolve? Could you go from finding discarded items to building a full-on brand selling high-end, custom refurbished goods, turning this side hustle into your main thing? That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.